Good morning, everyone. Hope you can hear me loud and clear. So, welcome to today's analysis. As usual, I'll take you through the breakdown today. We apologize for not having last week on Friday as well as Monday. I think Monday we experienced a few technicalities. Ken on his side. I remember he had said the meeting, but he wasn't able to do it because of a few things. But here we are. Okay. So, what has been happening? What's up for the past 2 weeks? Past 1 week. Because I think the last analysis was last week on Wednesday. So what have we been seeing in the market? Well, just a recap, more or less. Last week we had NFPs. We saw how markets moved. Personally, I've been watching my pairs, the main pairs that I trade. That's gold, Aussie dollar, USD card, and Dow Jones. Dow Jones really dropped last week, but towards the end of the week, we saw a quick recap, and this week market has continued with that rise. So I'll look at that. I'll also look at gold. Gold has been in a consolidation. This is gold that you're seeing over here. Technically, what I'm looking, big picture, okay? Always remember big picture. Market entered sort of this consolidation, okay? So ever since we got this rally last year, I think we topped in August. Yeah, August. The week of 6th, I think it was 6th to 10th. That week. Market topped at 2,070, around there. And we've seen market coming down, we've entered this consolidation. And this is what we always get with gold. Gold has this more or less nature of doing this, okay? Always moving sideways. So we've basically been stuck. What I've been watching, you can see how clean my charts are, keeping it simple. Between the 1955 level, so you're seeing that resistance level, and the bottom 1675 level, okay? So those are the two levels I'm currently paying major attention to, just to see how market is going to react, okay? So we've been seeing these impulses to the downside. You can see this strong impulse. Look at this impulse, look at this impulse, look at this impulse, correction impulse, sort of a correction here. We've got this impulse. This correction actually came in the form of a more or less almost a flag, more or less, okay? Able to look at it if I'm able. I think I have it on the 4-hour chart, so I'll show it better on the 4-hour chart. Because this is the daily chart, I'll show you on the 4-hour chart. So we've been seeing that markets had that impulse to the downside. Got this correction more or less like an ABC correction, okay? So if you're familiar with the ABC correction, ABC correction there, then we've gotten this impulse. So depending on how market reacts, especially if we remain below this significant level, okay? This level over here, you can remember this level will be a very, very strong level. It was around the 1830 level, acted as a strong resistance, got that breakout and a break back below, okay? So what I'm saying, maybe market can get some correction. You can see some pullback has been happening, more or less, not really a pullback. This has been more or less a this correction. If market can pull back maybe 1830, we see how market will react to that level. Will we tap it? Will we break above it? If we come and respect it, then expect market to continue inside this consolidation back to the maybe 1675 level. Who knows, okay? So that's what I'll be watching currently. If I look at the 4-hour chart here, you can see it much more clearly. So this is the flag I was talking about, more or less, okay? This is what I'm paying attention now to see if market can come maybe to this trend line. See, I'm using the upper boundaries more as my guide. That's why down here you're not seeing any bounce of anything. Because if I try and squeeze it like this,
Forex trading is a new language in town. If you are into Forex trading, keep listening. Learn the tips of risk management, psychology, and trading strategies on The Trader Show. Subscribe to The Trader Show on YouTube and Spotify. Brought to you by Pepperstone, the broker with the lowest spreads.
You can also use that as well, but I've really squeezed, negating this lower low, okay? But I don't like using the low over spike, especially such a spike. It's not really reliable, so I'd rather use the body instead. So if you take such a pattern, okay, you can see that we have respected upper side, also the downside and the downside, okay? So I want to see if market can push back maybe to the 18,730 level, see how we can respect it. Because if you look at it nicely on the 4-hour chart, you can see this was a very significant level. Look at that touch, respected 3 times, got that strong breakout. And to know how, and I keep saying this a lot, how do you know a level is very significant? Once you get such bounces, and then when market comes and breaks above it, How do we do it? With momentum. Look at that momentum. Boom. We got a break above. Look at that momentum breaking back below. So those are the momentums you're looking for. That's how we are certain that this is a very, very critical level. Okay. So that's what I'll be watching. So I want to see, is this market coming back up maybe to this level? Okay. On the 1 hour chart yesterday, we had a very good buy trade. Okay. If you know how I personally trade, looking for that impulsive move. Look at that beautiful correction. Got a second bounce over here, and we got that target to the upside. That move to the upside, I mean, where targets were hit around this level at the 1787 level. Okay, so that was a good short-term intraday trade. It didn't last more than 3 hours. Okay, you can see that 1, 2, 3 candlesticks already out of that trade. A clean 130 pips around there. Okay, so those are the quick trades you take during the day. Aussie dollar, we've gotten a pullback finally. Market has been dropping. If you look at the daily chart, look at this trend, how trend has been being respected. Look at that first touch, second touch, third touch in the form of a flag formation. Look at that move to the downside. No significant correction ever since that fall started. Okay, look at that, boom, all the way to this level. We've come back to the 0.70 level where market got support. And if you zoom it out, you can get to see that this is also a previous support level. Okay, so you can see this acted as a very strong support, which pushed market to new highs. Okay, so that's a level where market has come to respect, and market has sort of, for the better part of this week, we've just had bullish momentum. Okay, because this was Monday candlestick and this was Tuesday candlestick. Okay, if you go to the 4 hour chart, what are you seeing? Sort of seeing that. So you can see this impulsive move that hasn't been broken. Okay, this impulsive move, get that more or less. If we had a trend line over here that was watching, I'd taken it out because market was more or less breaking it yesterday. So we had this. Okay, very, very important. You can see that how market has been respecting to the downside. It was more or less also like a channel like formation. You can see that more or less. Okay, you can see how that was respected. Okay, so market is breaking. Now the question is, this is what I normally like to look at. Market is impulsing in a certain direction. Can we get a correction of that impulsive move? And what correction can we get in terms of that impulsive move? And can I trade in accordance to that direction of the impulsive move? Okay, so this is what I'll be watching. We've gotten 2 days significant bullish days. Okay, bullish candlesticks. Now to see maybe if we can get a correction. It can come either today, tomorrow, even next week. Who knows? We never know. But if it comes out, see what correction can we form. Is it a pattern that I normally trade? If it is, I prepare to take a trade in accordance to the impulse move. If not, I stay away from it. Okay, so this is what I'll be watching. 1 hour chart, we're just seeing bullish candlesticks. It was a quick recovery. Such recoveries, you can see this impulsive move to the downside, impulsive move to the upside. It's really hard to get such moves. Okay, but this is what we call a V-shaped recovery. Okay, market forming sort of a V-shape, meaning there's a lot of momentum to the downside and a quick momentum back to the upside. So that's what I'll be watching on this one. Like I said, this is an impulsive move. Can we get a correction? And then another impulsive move to the upside. So that's what I'll be paying attention to on that one. USD card, same thing, man. USD card has really dropped. 4 hour chart. I remember I tried catching a short last week, but I was sort of squeezed out. I remember, where was it? I think it was at this level. I think after this rejection over here. So I had a short trade, and then this impulsive move got me out. Then you can see market still came and respected this level. I'll zoom it out, what you're seeing. This level, okay? You can see this previous significant level at the 1.285 level. That is why it's very important to use key levels. Pay attention to previous data, what happened in the previous candlestick formations, which levels were respected. And you can see market came approaching that level in the form of sort of an ending flag formation or a channel-like formation, depending on how you call it. And we got that double rejection. And look at that drop. Okay, that significant drop, how market has been dropping. If you look at dollar index, it hasn't been dropping as much as US dollar. But the main thing that is affecting this market at the moment, and I was sharing with my students yesterday, is that we are basically seeing oil. Okay, US oil has been recovering, moving to the upside. And if you know how it's related to USD card, that's what you're getting. So you can see this recovery on oil. That's what has been affecting USD card to drop crazily like this. And you can see for the better part of this week, we haven't gotten any significant bullish candlestick, okay? The 4-hour chart. It's just been drop, okay? But same thing, like I said, when I see such a movement, it's when I want to prepare for an opportunity to take a trade. This is an impulsive move. And normally what happens after an impulsive move, we get a correction in the form of a sideways movement or a pullback. What do I mean by sideways movement? Such that market is just dangling like this, okay? Let me show you that. Market is just hovering to sideways. It can form a triangle, okay? And then we get another impulsive move to the downside. On the other side, that's a sideways movement, but in the other side, we can get a correction, a pullback in the form of a flag, getting that flag formation, maybe like that, okay? And then we get another impulsive move to the downside, more or less forming that what we call the ABC correction, okay? So that's what I like paying attention to. What pattern will form after an impulsive move, and I hope you've learned a thing or two from that. So that's what I'm normally watching. That's why if I come to my chart list over here on the side, you can see I have a watch list, I have an on my radar, then I have active trades running. So I don't have any active trade at the moment, but you can see on my radar I have 3 pairs which I'm watching, and this is the Aussie dollar and USD card. What I've just shown you, impulsive move has been formed, meaning now this 2 markets on my radar, I want to pay attention to them. Can we get a correction of it? In what formation? Do I trade that formation? Yes. Then I take it, then I move it to my active trade. So that's what I have on Aussie dollar, USD card, and last but not least, Dow Jones 1-day chart. Market has been forming beautiful patterns, very quick recovery. Now this has been a steep V-shaped recovery, and this is what we normally see on Dow Jones. So Dow Jones, that bounce, you can see this move, okay? Look at that. Fast touch here. So let me highlight it. There we go. Look at that. First touch, second touch, third touch. Okay. You're seeing how market has respected those levels and moving to the higher side. Okay. So it's an impulsive move. If I zoom in, we can see market had a very steep drop for the past 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, ever since November. I think even for the past more or less like almost 3 to 4 weeks. It had this strong correction, okay? Market came and bounced off the trend line, which was also sort of in line. It nearly came to this previous support, okay? Like I said, pay attention to previous support lines, okay? Support and resistance. We didn't come exactly to it, but we got this very quick V-shaped recovery, because you're seeing, if I go to the 4-hour chart, and remember also on the 4-hour chart, we had a double coincidence of trend line. So we have that big picture trend line, and then we have this one, okay? We have this one. So you can see this first touch, second touch, and then a third touch. So those are strong confluence around this level. And like I said, impulse and a strong impulse to the upside. So this is more or less what we call a V-shaped recovery. Market has recovered very fast and breaking above the 35,500 level, okay? If you look at the 35,500 level, it's a significant resistance level. Acted as resistance, break to the upside, acted as support, a strong break to the downside, and now we're getting that strong break to the upside. So also this one is on my radar. Like I keep saying, this is a strong impulsive move. I want to pay attention to what pattern can be coming next. Okay, if I look at the 1-hour chart, it's what I'll be paying attention to. Can I get a correction of that? There was a counter trend line I was watching. Sort of market was breaking it yesterday. It's not a really significant one, but it's something you should pay attention to. But anyway, it's not of significance to me. So you can see we had an impulse over here, correction, another impulse. Can we get another correction? And I trade in accordance to that impulse, okay? So that's how I approach the market, man. Keep it nice and simple. So those are the main pairs that I normally trade. I don't know what you guys are watching on your side. If I just look at currencies, I haven't looked at these other currencies ever since last week, just to avoid the noise, okay? Sometimes if you look at many charts at the same time, you're just attracting a lot of noise and lack of focus on the pairs that you're normally trading, okay? Dollar index, what has been happening here? I was watching something on the dollar index, sort of more or less a flag formation, okay? So this impulse to the upside, so sort of this correction, I'm seeing market has started moving to the downside. It can continue dropping and market move a bit further lower, okay? Maybe back to this trend line. So I'll be watching how can market come back to this trend line. You're seeing this. Let's zoom it out. Where does it start? Let's skip one. So you see this trend line. You can see that first touch, second touch, third touch. So can we get back to that level? If not, can we respect Can market come back to the 94.5 level, which was a significant resistance level, which is in line with the trend line over here before we get any significant move to the other side? Okay, so that's what I'm watching. A bit of dollar correction. That's why you're seeing Aussie dollar really pumping to the upside, USD CAD dropping. So I'm basically looking for some dollar weakness, I think, for the better part of the next 2 weeks maybe, and then we see what will happen from there. But anyway, that's it for me, man. Nothing much, nothing crazy. I think I'll end it there for today. So just keeping it short, simple, straight to the point. And yeah, so that's what I'm watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see you guys on Thursday and Friday, where we'll do a recap and see how the trades ended. So that's it from me, guys. I'll see you next time. Peace.